Hi, everyone. My name is Dustin Miles with Momentum Multifamily. Super excited to have Albert here today. Albert, if you could introduce yourself, and would love for everybody to learn more about you and a little bit about what your company does.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Dustin. My name is Albert. I'm a general partner in multifamily investment. Our company is called Oak Real Estate Investment. We are located in Dallas. We focus on multifamily investment. We have invested about 10 properties so far, about 3,200 units, mainly in DFW and Houston.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sounds good. Well, just kind of curious. Stepping back in time, I know you've been in multifamily for a while. How did you even hear about it? How did you get started? What that look like? And would love to hear about your journey.
Yeah, that's a great question. I started investment in 2013. I started with a single family investment
Mm.
and gradually I invested 10 single family homes. At that time, I was a director in a Fortune 500 company. And then I planned to invest in bigger properties, achieve financial freedom. I was reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad and learned the author Robert, he was investing in multifamily. That's why I want to get involved into multifamily. But at that time, I didn't know anything about multifamily. I joined a few investment club, and then I find a club in Dallas. That's a pretty big club. That's how I met you, Dustin, and then that's where I started multifamily investment.
Great. And then would also yeah, and so you did single family, you kind of, dipped your toes in the water there, and then you got into multifamily. Did you invest initially as an LP or did you get, straight into GP, or what did that look like?
Yeah, my first deal I was getting involved as a GP because at that time I didn't know anyone in multifamily business. And that time I was still living in Toronto. So every month I fly from Toronto to Dallas. I did
Wow.
that for a whole year. So I visit about over 100 properties. I met over 70 potential partners. That's how I get my first multifamily deal. Yeah, and
Wow.
after 3 years, we sold that deal and we made 66% return to our investors. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Uh, gosh, sounds like you got some airline miles racked up there. But and whenever you were looking for, I guess, your first property and your partners and all that, because these are really big deals. It takes a great team to kind of take these deals down and all that. What were you looking for as far as potential team members and as far as like where they were located or just values, or just, would love to hear what your, criteria looked like.
Yeah, that's my first approach. I tried to look for the ideal partners, but I
Yeah.
spent a few months, it didn't success because
Mm.
when I set a lot of criteria and rules, it's really difficult for me to find the suitable partners. So
Yep.
I changed my approach. So I was asking myself, what value can I provide instead
Mm.
of I picking partners? Because I'm a beginner, right? I never done
Hmm.
multifamily before. If I set too many criteria, I cannot do any deals. So I
Yep.
was thinking about what value can I provide because I have already done multiple single family investment and I have some high net worth friends we can invest together. So for the first deal, the value I can provide is raising capital. So the first deal, I think we raised about 2.5 million for my first deal. That's
Oh,
how I
wow.
get started. And in my future deals, I can help on the asset management, on the legal paperwork on other side. But the starting point is raising capital. That's how I
Wow.
start.
Wow. And did you raise 2.5, or was that kind of the collective?
I raised 2.5. The total
Wow.
raise is about 8 million for my first deal. The
Wow.
purchase price is about 24 million for my first deal.
Wow. Wow. That's great. That's a great first go.
Yeah.
Um it whenever you were gearing up for that first raise, and I know it was a long time ago, so you may not remember all the details, but what did you do to prepare for did you have would love to just hear what how'd you prepare for that? I mean, 2 point I mean that's not it sounds like a lot of people really know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to hear what that process looked like.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I first started with attending all kinds of seminars, meetings to collect contact information, right? So I
Mhm.
spent a few months collect about 500 email address. So
Oh
for my
wow.
first deal, I sent out 500 emails, and you guess how many people invested? Just take
I,
a guess.
I'm zero. I'm not sure.
Zero, yeah,
Yeah.
zero. So I
Wow.
sent out to 500 people, zero invested because that approach didn't work, right? No
Yeah.
one know me. I never done anything before. No
Yeah.
one trusts me, right? So that
Hmm.
approach didn't work. So then I tried to contact all my friends, family members, coworkers. I contact about 100 people and talk to them one-on-one in person, right?
Wow.
Spend 1 or 2 hours for each person. I
Wow.
go through that whole process. In the end, about 20 people invested with me, and 20 of them invested 2.5 million together, including
Wow.
myself, right?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a really, for people listening and all that, because they're like, oh, I've gone to all these meetings, I collected all these emails,
Um,
and you did all of that,
yeah, yeah, that
and
didn't work.
and still,
Zero,
zero.
zero.
It
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's really all about that. Yes, you met them, and they may not remember you a month or two
yeah,
later.
yeah,
But it's really about that, relationship. What does that look like? How
yeah.
strong is that? And then, and you were obviously you invested, it sounds like 100+ hours, to raise
Yeah,
that
at least 100
2.5.
hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think from my experience, capital raising is all about trust, right?
Hmm.
Who are you? Do they know you? What have you done? What's your like successful stories? So if you meet those strangers in those seminars, you only have I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
no one will trust you, right? That
Yeah.
approach for me it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I need to go back to the people who know me 5, 10 years. Some investor know me for 20 years.
Wow.
So they know I'm a integrity guy. I'm doing my best, right? I may not be the smartest guy or most experienced investor in multifamily industry, but they trust me as a person.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I think if anyone's listening to this and then they just stop right here, I think they've more than gotten plenty of value. So that's awesome, Albert. And you've done over 3,000 units. That's it's a lot of units. What have you of those deals? Any lessons learned or kind of criteria that obviously like you'd mentioned with partners, if you have too tight a criteria, it's like you're never going to do a deal. What is kind of, I guess, criteria was that looked like over those 10 plus deals, and then maybe some things you've changed along the way.
Yeah, there are many lessons learned, right? People learn
Hmm.
from mistakes, challenges. I experience a lot of challenges. For example, for some deals, the partners they are very good when we meet at first, but then later on we find we may have different opinions or visions, right? So in the later part of my journey, I set 2 rules for looking for partners. The first one is we always put investor profit as the top priority. So if the
Hmm.
partner agree with this principle, we can work together. Otherwise, we might not be a good partner together, right? The
Hmm.
second principle is we try to be transparent. So as partners, we share all informations.
Hmm.
Everything should be transparent. If we have, even if we have different opinion, that's okay. We should be transparent and discuss, find the best solution for our investors because investor is the most important thing for our long-term success. right?
Yep.
So that's our belief. That's the two principle we set after learning from some challenges.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's great. And then I guess as far as so maybe a little bit more, moving forward, and you've kind of set your criteria. I guess any other lessons learned, or would love to hear more about, maybe on the asset management side of things and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, another big lessons learned from asset management is at the earlier stage of our career, we mainly rely on the property management company, the third party property management company. So we have meetings with them every week. Everything looks good on paper, and when they talk about, they always talk about the good stories, good side of the property. But
Sure.
later on, when we dig deeper on the financials and numbers, and we find out different stories, right? So now we learn, we trust, but we verify with numbers. Not only listen to what story property management company told us, but also verify with numbers. Check the details, the progress, whether they close the loop, things like that.
Mm, gotcha. Okay. Awesome. And then I guess as far as on the as I know you're doing a lot with AI and just there's a lot of implementation that you've put in place there. What does that look like for your team and maybe an instance or two where you guys are really implementing AI?
Yeah, AI is a big thing. It's a trend for the future, right? We believe in the future, the whole industry will be rebuilt by AI or at least a big impact by AI. So we want to adapt that early and do things more efficiently. So we started with our own problems. For example, in the past, we find we pay some duplicate invoices, or when we random check some invoices, what we find that the amount is not correct. So
Mm.
sometimes the vendor put actual zero behind the amount, and the invoice
Oh,
should be $150, but it wrote as 1,500. So we
oh
find
wow.
those human mistakes when we randomly check. But there are so many invoices. Every month we have
Yeah.
thousands of invoices. It's impossible. We check that manually one by one. So we build an AI tool to review our invoice, every single invoice for our whole portfolios. We find a lot of mistake with that AI. And then we find this tool is very useful. So we recommend this tool to our third party property management company. They
Hmm.
manage about 50 properties, 1,000 units. So they need to review much more invoice. And this tool not only review invoice, but can help them eliminate the manual process. In the past, they need to manually type invoice, download it from email, type it into the property management system, and then manually review it. So this tool can help them save 1,000 hours per month.
Wow.
And every month we help them block about 800 duplicate invoice. The 800 duplicate invoices is over 500K every month. We can help
Wow.
them block those mistakes. So this is a big success for us as well. We love to solve problems. When we see the problem, this is a problem for the whole industry, not only one company, right?
Yep.
We find
Yep.
our own problem, we build a tool to solve the problem. We feel very happy about the result.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, we've seen on our end we've seen duplicates and and things like that. And so
Yeah,
that's awesome. That 500K, I mean, I know that's
500 per
for
month, right?
I know that's for the management company, but I mean that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
So especially if a deal is struggling, that even 50,000, 10,000 is a lot. Depends on
yes,
the size of the property. So that's
yeah.
awesome. Um, are there any other instances where you guys are kind of implementing AI, and if so, what does that look like?
Yeah, yeah. There are so many things we are implementing with AI. So we always start with our own problem. I can give you
Yep.
an example. For example, in the past, when the on-site manager left, all her or his knowledge left. No one knows what happened. Why did we make this decision? What worked, what didn't work is all gone, right? Right
Yep.
now, we record every meeting, every property visit, every email. So we summarize those information in a database. So each property has a database. It will remember every important thing. So in the future, we can quickly check the database, ask AI, why did we do the foundation repair for this property? And what happened? Who did we hire? How much did we pay? Right? Things like that. Another example is we use AI to manage contracts. In the past,
Mm.
no one knows what happened with those contracts. Each property had maybe 10, 20 contracts. If we
Mhm.
have 10 property, we have over 100 contracts. No
Yeah.
one can remember what's the due date, what's the revenue share percentage. No one knows what's going on. So we use AI to track those important things.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those contracts are tricky. And then some of them too, just you have to give them, sometimes months
Yeah,
notice. And if you
three
miss that
months notice
date,
to cancel it, right?
yeah, you're in it for another year or maybe
Uh,
multiple years. So
yeah, that was
um
really painful for us. We didn't know some contract, it just auto renew. We stuck with that another year. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I remember I had this was a few years back. It was in Oklahoma. And this is something I was really honed in on, so it wasn't a big deal. But I remember I think I had to give them 90 days notice, or
Mhm.
it wasn't just a month. It was,
Right.
yeah, it was further out. You had to give them 90 days notice. And then otherwise, I can't remember if it renewed for a year or if it renewed for maybe multiple years. I can't
Yeah.
recall right now, but anyways, but it was a big deal. This is 150 units. It was in Oklahoma, and the rents are not that high. So I mean, this cable contract, it was not for just basic cable, it was also for extended cable. So, and this was
Mhm.
$42,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the total expense load, but that was a major item there. And anyways, we did everything up to the specifications and all that, and got that. And this was part of the business plan. So I
Yeah.
got that removed, but the raise for that property was smaller. It was in 2015. It was a $1.5 million raise, and we
Uh,
raised the value of the property $500,000
wow.
just from that one thing. And just to your
Yeah.
point about details and making sure that you hit these deadlines. I mean, that was crucial for us to be able to earn a significant portion of our return right there.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a similar mistake. So we also help other, because we have this management tools and we have more experience on asset management. So sometimes we help other owners to asset management. So I can give you an example for the contract management. So when we took another property, help them do asset management, we reviewed all the contract and we find out for a cable contract, they should receive a revenue share from the
Oh,
vendor. So that's about 10% of their total revenue. So
oh
every
wow.
year they should receive about 20K, and they missed this revenue for
Oh
8 years.
no.
So they missed the 160K revenue, and we help them got that money back. So yeah,
Wow.
contract can be an important thing in current market. Yeah.
Gosh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially for that size of property. Um, and I guess as we kind of start to wrap up a little bit, anything else you kind of want to share, just for different people that are listening. Some people are LPs, some people are aspiring GPs, some people are GPs. So anything else you want to kind of leave with?
Yeah, so I want to share if you want to start it with multifamily investment, it's good to get more information from different people, different aspects. Also, you can also learn a lot from AI nowadays. You can ask the AI, right, what's a multifamily investment? What's a common mistake in multifamily investment, right? You can learn from the good side, also from the lessons learned from the history. I think that's very helpful. Another tip is, as I mentioned, how we use AI is we started from our own problem and design a tool to solve those problems. So with
Mhm.
AI, we can have a much better solution in the past. We have done things in the old way in the past, right? We have always done this for, let's say, 10 years, but there's a better way to do it. So keep open mind and learn what's a better, newer way to do this.
Yep. Yep. And I like that point too. Because you and I've been doing this, kind of a similar time frame and all that. And just because we've been doing this a long time doesn't necessarily mean we have all the answers,
Right.
or there isn't a better solution. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think kind of we always kind of say check your ego at the door and just kind
Mhm.
of be a student, always be learning,
Yeah.
and so that's huge. Are there, for people that want to get in touch with you, is there a website or email or whatever you want to share on that front so people can reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out to my email. My email is albert@oakreinvestment.com. So you can also go to my website, but it's easier to reach me by my email. It's albert@oakreinvestment.com.
Okay. Awesome, Albert. We'll appreciate your time. Look forward to talking soon. And yeah, hope you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. See
Thank
ya.
you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.